Hey, I'm Steven and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So today I'm going to be looking at a clip from Tasha Keeney of ARK Invest recently where she suggested that Tesla may in fact launch their ride-hailing network before they've solved autonomy. Now this is something that Tesla has said they're open to doing in the past, so it is a possibility. This clip aired yesterday and Tasha actually brought up some really fantastic points. So let's have a look at what she had to say. I'll add a few comments here and there. Let's get into it. Hey guys, if you'd like to help out the channel and get up to 2 free stocks, check out the links in the description to WeBull and Stake. Let's get back to it.
Firstly, I want to just point out your recent tweet about Tesla and the ride hailing. We're going to hit some different companies today, but walk me through this case because I think it's pretty interesting. Is this a real possibility for them?
Yeah, I'm very excited about this. So this is my latest research. So basically in the past, Tesla said that they could launch a ride-hailing network ahead of reaching full autonomy. So this would have human drivers, and basically they learn the ins and outs of ride hailing. What's so interesting about that is that we actually think that a ride hailing network with human drivers could be a very profitable business for Tesla, basically because they have a lower cost structure than Uber and Lyft, thanks to their vertical integration. And it's actually just cheaper to drive a Tesla on an operating cost basis because it's a performance electric vehicle. So we think this could be a massive opportunity for Tesla, and it's really being overlooked.
Guys, this is a really exciting possibility and one that's definitely worth talking about just a little bit more. First of all, it is true, the operating cost, the cost of ownership of a Tesla over time is far lower than internal combustion engine vehicles. And as far as I know, any other electric vehicles out there that are actually proven, that have actually done some miles, have been out there in the landscape of ownership and real world use for long enough to actually know. There's almost zero maintenance, maybe a little bit of wiper fluid here and there, really, because there's so few moving parts. You're talking a few dozen versus a few hundred in an internal combustion engine vehicle. Very few things can go wrong. And also the cost of electricity, depending on where you are, is either much cheaper or way cheaper than gasoline. So over time, as a driver of a Tesla on a taxi network, your cost of operation is going to be much lower, meaning you're going to take home more money, which means it's much more appealing for people to be using a Tesla on this type of ride-hailing network. This is an important point. The money, the income is going to be much better for somebody using a Tesla on the Tesla network than using a different vehicle on another network, which means that they're going to make more money. It's going to be more appealing financially. It's literally going to be a better deal. Maybe this will even incentivize people to lease Teslas or get loans and use them to generate income as a source rather than people that have existing Teslas now. Just imagine if this spurs demand, people during the COVID sort of pandemic trying to earn a little bit of extra income. What if, just what if, a bunch of people sit at home, do the numbers and realize, holy crap, my operating costs are going to be, let's say half or a third as much driving on Uber or Lyft. It's like, shit, my take-home pay is actually really decent. This is a great opportunity. I'm going to go and get a loan or a lease because I've done the numbers, and even if I'm paying a little bit back on that, on top of that, through my own work, driving people around in my Tesla, I'm going to actually be making quite a bit of additional income. It's an awesome opportunity. And of course, not everyone's prone to doing the numbers, but just imagine if a few people, enough people do. This could have a real material impact on Tesla demand in the short term.
If you think about, we have our bull and our bear thesis for Tesla. Our bear thesis assumes that they don't reach full autonomy because it's still sort of an unproven area. But this ride-hailing network basically provides sort of, a downside protection risk on that case. So they still transform their business into a software as a service like model. And we think it could be a great opportunity. And Tesla should actually launch now. Because the gig economy, people are wanting to get back to work and consumers are avoiding public transportation. I think it could be a great opportunity.
What a point. Completely agree. What a great opportunity for Tesla to launch the network now. There's a huge demand. Less people taking public transport, more people looking for additional income. I think Tesla would have to be crazy not to at least attempt to do this unless they're so resource constrained with engineers that they just literally cannot find the resources to make this happen. What a huge opportunity here. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Should Tesla launch their network now as soon as possible, direct some resources, whatever it takes to actually get it up and running to take advantage of this opportunity? Or should they just focus all in on scaling production of their vehicles and their products?
It almost sounds like there's like a pseudo kind of philanthropic element to this in a way. Not really the precise word, but given the circumstances of what's happening right now, would it be profitable to Tesla, or is this going to be a distraction from their core message, which is still trying to stay profitable and get the business going?
Oh, we think it could be very profitable for Tesla. I mean, if you look at Uber's market in core cities, they're getting a 45% EBITDA margin. We think Tesla could actually get higher because, again, they have a better cost structure than Uber and Lyft. They're vertically integrated on the finance and insurance side.
A poignant point from Tasha. Gee, that's a bit of a tongue twister, but really important, easily missed. Tesla's cost structure, were they to go into the ride-hailing business, is actually better, more profitable just as a ride-hailing business than say Uber or Lyft. Take a moment to let that sink in. Forget about the cost to the driver forget all about that. Just as a business, if Tesla was literally to directly compete with Uber and Lyft, they already have a better cost structure.
And on top of that, it's a better equation for the drivers if this car is actually cheaper to drive per mile, because then you can imagine the drivers get more take-home pay, or Tesla could take a higher take rate off of those gross revenues. So, Tesla could, and they'd also get more miles for autonomy if they do successfully launch a ride-hailing network. So it actually furthers that goal as well.
Oh man, what a trifecta. So, cheaper for drivers, more profitable for Tesla, and the holy grail, more miles for full self-driving, for autonomy. The thing that will win full self-driving, that will have cars, vehicles driving themselves, that will enable Tesla robo-taxis to take you anywhere, any place, with safe and sound. It's data. What better way to get more Teslas on roads collecting more data to train the full self-driving AI to get closer to solving autonomy than to incentivize people to get out there? It just does not get better than this. The opportunity is massive. It is the perfect time to launch this network. Tesla, please, if you're listening, I know lots of people working at Tesla do, go pester somebody. Just pull on their coattails a little bit. Hey, are we doing this? Come on, are we going to launch this net? Come on, let's go, come on. Make it happen, please.
So I think, there's a clear business case for this.
And it doesn't have to be fully autonomous, even though Elon's been talking about that again lately.
Exactly. Yeah. So today Elon said that he's very confident that they will get the basic functionality of level 5 autonomy this year. And Tesla is really ahead of the pack on this front because they have this massive data advantage. They're taking data from customer cars. So again, this would actually further that goal, because then these cars would be very highly utilized vehicles compared to personal cars. They're used less than 5% of the time. A taxi gets over a 30% utilization rate on average. So this could just get them more miles, basically more data to feed that engine and to prove to regulators, hey, this is safe.
Man, this is just such a good idea. Tesla, please make it happen. The really important piece of the puzzle here is the data that can be collected by a taxi versus a personal use vehicle. If it's utilized more, let's say 5% of the time versus 30% of the time, for every one vehicle that's being used as a full-time taxi by somebody on the Tesla network, you're going to be collecting 6 times as much data as an equivalent personal use vehicle. So every one of these is worth 6 in terms of how much data they're collecting. This could be a great accelerant. This is so important. Bravo to Tasha and ARC for doing the research. This is fantastic. Huge opportunity. So let's put aside the full self-driving data advantage that this could be, which is phenomenal, colossal, enormous, incredibly significant. But let's put that to the side now and see what impact could it have on Tesla's financials. Let's do some back of the napkin math. So today Tesla has over 1 million vehicles on the road. Let's just call it a million, keep the numbers simple. Now let's just say 5% of those people decide, you know what, I might drive a little bit on this Tesla network. Not like a fanatical full-time taxi, but just, when I've got an opportunity here or there, I'll do it. And let's say that each driver drives just 15 miles a day on average. 1 or 2 fares. That's it. A typical Uber fare in the US costs around $2 per mile. So let's use that as our benchmark. And Uber takes 25% of the fare. So let's use those same numbers and apply that to the Tesla network, assuming they've got 50,000 drivers. 5% of roughly a million strong fleet driving on this network just 15 miles per day. That will produce daily revenues for Tesla of, wait for it, $375,000 of extremely high margin revenue per day out of an existing network, existing infrastructure, existing vehicles. They don't need to do anything except launch an app. Just based on those ballpark numbers, 15 miles a day across only 50,000 drivers, just 5% of Tesla's million-strong fleet. Per year, that would bring in over $100 million of very high margin revenue. It is a huge opportunity, and what better time to launch the network than now? Autonomy's close. get your experience with the actual ride-hailing network before you're using autonomous vehicles, and create a new revenue stream, and incentivize more people to get into Tesla vehicles, and get more data for full self-driving. It's just incredible. My mind is about to explode. Hope you guys have found this insightful or interesting, entertaining, or just you're really bored. In either case, thanks for watching. I just wanted to say massive shout out to Tasha and Ark. You guys are doing awesome research, some of the best in the business, if not the best. I really do mean that. There's nobody else out there that's thinking in the same ways and doing the same kind of analysis, the same kind of opportunities. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this idea? Should Tesla be all over it, or have they got other priorities? Should they redirect a little bit of their resources, even if it's a bit tight and a bit tough and they've got other things to focus on? Get this opportunity out there, collect that additional data, incentivize more people, or since they're production constrained anyway, is there really even any reason to incentivize more demand? You're getting enough vehicles out on roads anyway. The key thing to think about is utilization. Private vehicle used about 5% of the time. A taxi around 30. So that's going to massively accelerate the advent of full self-driving if enough people opt for this opportunity. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget your free stocks with WeBull and Stake. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can continue creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description, and you can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.